so fortunate that I'm not in that trauma anymore. When I speak about my experience, it doesn't feel that I'm still feeling the pain. No, I'm just focusing on my life. I always wanted to live a meaningful life, meaningful in a way. So at that time when I could see my perspectives were different, like my perspectives was how I can achieve more, and I was focusing on the letter grades A, B, and C. All those meant a lot to me. But now I'm focusing on real life, like how, education is really important. It's empowering, and that's why we need to get it. And otherwise, we have no other alternative. We have to get education to put ourselves in that strong position. And I totally agree with Sadvinder. We don't have to try to become like men. We are already more sensitive. We are already more compassionate. We are already more able to feel other people's pain, and that puts us in a totally different setting, a footing, and which is equally important to take our society forward. And without those things, I don't think if our qualities, like the womanly qualities, that the so-called womanly qualities, if they are not valued enough, if we are not confident about our womanhood, if we don't celebrate our womanhood, then we won't be able to do anything for other people, not for ourselves as well. So I really believe that we need to focus on how we can celebrate our womanhood, and then not thinking about what are our challenges. We still haven't lost anything. We still have light. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. So I truly believe that we can make a huge difference, and society is progressing. We just need to feel the pain of each other. Wherever you are, whoever you are, if you feel that pain that other people are going through, if you realize that, okay, if you try to put ourselves or yourselves in their shoes and try to feel the pain, that's when we will be able to make our society forward, get rid of all those injustices. And I truly believe that we need to celebrate our womanhood, and not life teaches us how to. If I haven't become blind, I wouldn't know that I could live as a blind person. When I was a child, I never played the game which is called blindfolded. I was so scared of that emotion, and I was so scared, but I didn't know what is in my future. But now I have survived 2.5 years of my life. I lived 2.5 years of my life as a blind person. And I don't know if I'm going to die soon, but I'm hoping that I have to make a long journey ahead. And for living a meaningful life, I have to push myself to face all those challenges which are still there. And I have to accept the fact that there will be challenges, but there is always a way. And I truly believe that. So when we talk about women's rights, when we talk about our rights, first we need to be proud of ourselves. In spite of all these difficulties, in spite of all these hardships that I have to go through, and I am going through as a girl, as a woman, I am still proud to be a woman, and I will be proud to be a woman. And I don't think but I don't, and I'm proud to have a daughter in that respect as well, because I know that the qualities that I have as a woman is transferred into her. And as I told that in many of my interviews, that I don't want my daughter to see me as a victim of violence, because all of us who have had the first-hand experience of violence, they are survivors. They're survivors. Not all of them are fortunate enough, like me, to have access to education and who have received all this support and love from other people. Sometimes I think, is my challenge greater than those mothers who kill their newborn daughters just because of the fact that they're daughters? I don't think so. And live the rest of their lives with that guilt that they have killed their own daughters? No, I don't think my challenges are greater than those mothers. And if I think about many women in my country, especially in that part of South Asia where I come from, I just try to think, okay, do I want to live their lives? No, of course not. Even if they can see, I don't want that life. I am so proud of my life, even if I can't see, because I have a very positive attitude, and I'm so blessed for that. And that is how we should take the challenges in our lives. And all the women, I'm talking on behalf of all the women, and we have that strength. Only women have the strength of motherhood. And motherhood is the only thing that helped me gain that strength so that I could move forward and then not look back and then think about what has happened to me. So this is how I see my life now. And yeah, I felt that I need to share my story, because I know there are lots and lots of women out there, no matter how successful they are in their careers, they are ashamed or scared to share their stories. And the fact being that society is still not supportive enough. If I was divorced without any disability or without anything like this, then everyone would think that I might have some problem, not my ex-husband. No one would think that he was abusive or he was doing that and then always abusing me and then hitting me. So they wouldn't care about that. It's always the wife's fault if they are divorced. So we need to, I think that's where we need to change our mindset. And then, but the amount of support people are showing in societies when we are talking about, when I'm invited to different places to share my story, it gives me enormous hope that, yeah, we are not hopeless. We still have hope, because we are survivors, and we could show the world that we are survivors. We are not victims. We have a voice, and we will make sure that that voice is heard. Thank you so much for that.
How beautifully she told us how she is making meaning out of her life and making a meaningful life. Thank you, Romana, for sharing such a personal story and also your courage to share it with us and your inspiration to us all today. Romana will come back on stage after Rick speaks, so you have an option to ask some questions of her, and we'll moderate that. Rick, not to put you on the spot, but I know you're a sensitive young man as well, so we're not saying that women don't have the corner on sensitivity, but we're so proud that you're in our community and you do the kind of work that you do, and that we have such confidence in our police force, and that we know that you are there to protect and serve all of us, our community, and especially those that are vulnerable. Please come and share some of your thoughts with us. Rick Lucy is the Deputy Chief of Abbotsford Police Department. Please join me in welcoming him.
You won't have heard that at the back, but I said thanks for the young piece, Winder. Boy, I'm pretty emotional right now, actually, so thanks, Romana. I knew I was going to be presenting at sort of this stage of the day, and this is truly one of those moments. A bunch of people here were outside for 1 Billion Rising, so that's already happened. Then a powerful video, and then to hear from you, Romana, what an amazing person. So here I am. I just have one thought, sort of in response to your comments, Romana. You were posing a sort of a question about yourself, and after listening to you and just hearing all that you had to say, I can tell from everything that I just learned that you have a long and important journey ahead of you. So, yeah. So I bring greetings from the Abbotsford Police Department on International Women's Day. I congratulate everyone that's sharing such vital messages, that are taking such important actions. The Abbotsford Police Department, we stand in support of all women. We stand alongside all women. A couple of thoughts that I want to share, because I was asked to just kind of tie it into a little bit about what we're doing. And so one of the things that I brought along with me, and there's no way you'll be able to read this, but I'm going to tell you what I'm holding here. We try and be very focused as a police department. And what I'm holding here is just one page of paper. And this page is our 2014 Operational Strategic Plan. And what's significant about it that I want to share with you is that we, every year, identify what our top priorities are. We are so committed to what we know is our responsibility to make this community safe. And we want to focus in every year on what it is that's going to make that big difference. And so there's some obvious ones in there around certain crime types. But violence against women is obviously prominent among that list. And what I want to say about that is that we have goals that we set for ourselves. So property crime, for example, we say we want to reduce property crime by 10%. We say that we want to reduce injury collisions by this year 10%. And those are good goals, and they're important in terms of the overall safety of the community. But something we did a few years ago that I want to really highlight is in the area of violence against women. And we were having a conversation that goes along the lines of the other examples I just gave. And when we got to domestic violence specifically, we're saying, well, obviously we want to do something about that. That's important. It's hugely important for our community. What are we going to do? Are we going to reduce it by 25%? Are we going to minimize this or, change that? And to me, it was a real pivotal moment when we said, no, actually, our goal, and you'll see it if you want to ever look at our plan, our goal is to stop domestic violence. And yeah. And we were very serious about that. Like to many people, it might sound naive or foolish or, unattainable. But what it did is it changes when I talk about being focused and making decisions, it changes the way you think about things. It changes the way you decide about what you're going to do. If you're going to reduce something, you can try a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and you might get a little bit of success. But when you say you're going to stop something, it changes everything that you're going to do. And I can tell you that from, we've, for a long, long time, as long as I can remember, we've obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but I can tell you we've treated domestic violence and violence against women very seriously. But saying we want to stop something is really shaping what we're doing. And it's not just the Abbotsford Police Department. We are committed to doing everything that we can do, to trying everything that we can think of, but not on our own, with our partners, and we have lots of partners, to achieve that goal. And we're serious about getting there. And so it's shaping everything. We have a domestic violence unit represented here. Kevin, Mandy, Sandy. Kevin, yeah? And there's a little bit of uniqueness to that. These people do amazing work, and they focus in on the most complex and high-end incidents, and so they do a very, very powerful and amazing work. But we're partnered, Kevin's one of our detectives, but we're partnered with Sandy, who is a social worker. That's a partnership with Community Services. And then we've added Mandy a while back to the team, and Mandy comes from the Ministry of Children and Families. And so it's paying attention to that whole picture and all of the partners, and they're part of the team, but then there's a larger team involving Crown Council and on it goes. So we're doing a lot in that area. A couple of other areas that we're focused on, just in final thoughts around this idea of stopping, is we've recognized, as so many people have, is we've got to go so much further upstream. And so where we're putting a lot of energy now, and this is going to rely heavily on partners, is going way up to the early stages and beginning with our children. We have got to raise children who have a healthy perspective of respectful relationships. And it's long-term stuff, but we're going to put a bunch of our energy there. We're sure hoping our partners are as well, the school district and obvious other places. But if we don't go upstream there and start some of that